Most people think success comes down to working hard or being more motivated than the average person, or possibly even having a great idea. But I think it has to be way more simpler than that. There must be a simpler reason why some people win faster than others, and it must have nothing to do with talent, or maybe just a tad bit. I think it's something that we all know, but we don't pay enough attention to. It is time, money, and experience. Because if you have time and money, you can either pay to gain their experience, or you have the money to acquire their experience that's needed to take you from point A to point B. If you have experience and money, you could always truncate the time that it takes you to go from point A to B. Hi, my name is Boris. I'm building a company and working with mentors and operators who have completed over 1 billion in transactions. And I'm sharing with you what I'm learning alongside my journey of how to build a system, how to build a team, and how to structure and design your life for long-term success. And in this video, I'm going to dive into the topic why I think some people win faster than others. So I'm going to speed run through this just to show you what I've learned, right? Success compounds. If you have money, you can hire talent. If you have talent, you have the experience to progress a lot faster. When you're progressing in multiple endeavors or multiple channels, you build what we call momentum. And then when you have momentum, you can eventually make a lot of money or generate a significant amount of wealth. Okay? And then the question is, what happens if you do not have the triad? What if you only have time? A lot of entrepreneurs and people starting off in any endeavor, they only have time. They have time and a burning desire to change the world. You have to do what we call a quantum leap. A quantum leap is borrowing experience from credible people in your industry and sector. And how do you do that? First, you must have an idea, a big bankable idea, an idea that people are willing to follow. When you have the idea, and now you have to be willing to share that idea. You have to be willing to share a piece of your pie because you can't build this thing alone. If you want to truncate the time, you must bring experience in. And when experience comes in, you have to give up a piece of the pie. So you have to understand you can't build alone. You can't do everything alone. You have to have a big bankable idea because big ideas have big gravitational fields. People want to join you when you have a big idea simply because they're thinking to themselves, if I join this person to execute this idea and it somehow, works, I'm going to make a lot of money. Shout out to the crypto bros. Right? So the crypto bros, they're selling you a dream. They're saying, oh, wow, we're taking it to the moon. It's the exact same thing when you're building your business. You have to sell an idea, you have to sell a vision, you have to sell a big vision because that's how you attract big hitters because they're thinking, this person has a burning desire, has time, I have experience. Eventually, we're going to make a lot of money if we execute it properly. So that's how you have to implement this in your own endeavor. You have to have a big bankable idea that people are willing to follow. The next thing is you have to engineer your infrastructure. You have to be emotionally disciplined. You have to know what your financial runway is. If you quit your job today and went full time into whatever you're looking to do, how many months would you last? Reduce those expenditures, man. Stop going out for drinks, every weekend. You need to protect your energy, your lifestyle, your family, your friends are gonna talk shit. Your family and friends might say, well, Jim Bob, I know you've been trying, but why don't you give up? You're not going to give up until life makes you, bend the knee. You're not going to give up because you have a burning desire to make this thing happen. Well, the next thing that you have to understand is you have to refine your idea because your idea, from the time you start to the time that you finish, you have to execute a move with so much speed and energy that momentum will move in your favor. So when you have an idea, don't sit on it for months and months. Talk to people about this idea. Speak to your market about this idea. Tweet about it. Be on social media. Just ask people and get their response. And then build the fastest MVP possible. Stop wasting months stuck in your room thinking you have this phenomenal idea and you're not going out there and touching grass and speaking to people in your industry or speaking to people that you can truly impact with whatever you want to bring to the world. Go out there, execute, get feedback, and make iterations. Don't slow down that process. And with AI, all of these things are so possible. Yes, you can't do everything with AI, but you sure well can reduce the time that it normally used to take. Okay? So remember this. You want to make success a matter of when, not if. So surround yourself and attract a world-class team by having a big, bankable idea and be willing to give people a piece of the pie. In other videos, I'm going to teach you how do you actually attract this world-class team, because I've done the same thing. I have head of sovereign banks on my team. I have head of legal that has 35 years of experience. My CFO is taking a company public in Sweden. We have people that are raising millions every single year in their own endeavor, choosing to work with me. And I want to teach you how you can also do that. There's so many lessons that I've learned in the last probably 29 months of my life. It's currently, the day is the 21st of May, 2026. If you met me at the beginning of my journey, you would say, oh my God, this guy has motivation, he's going somewhere. But that motivation was nothing, man, because I absolutely hate motivation. I'm going into a rant right now. I hate motivation because it's short term. It's like a short term energy drink. It's not going to last.